Hello everyone, today I wanted to share with you a build that I made on Path of Exile 2 on the Sorcerer. This build is a little bit more balanced than what most streamers are proposing right now, and the reason why I wanted to share it with you is because those streamers, they are usually extremely good players and they are capable of dodging a lot of things while I'm not, and maybe you're not as well. The problem with the build I see with the streamers is that most of the time what they show is extremely good for extremely good player, but if your job is not playing video games, that you may not be as good as they are, and you may die a lot using their build. And this is actually what happened to me. Initially I was following like a streamer, and then I tried his build and he was dodging everything and I was not, and I was just instantly die with a sorcerer. So my build is more, I would say, casual player friendly, instead of having something that is extremely squishy like a glass cannon and dealing a lot of damage. Okay, so let's dive into the skills that you can use Act 1. So the first skills that you want to use for Act 1 is Frost Bomb. Frost Bomb is a very, very strong skill because it provides you control, deals a lot of damage, provide cold exposure, which is also very good. It's difficult to master at the beginning because you need to place it on the ground. It explodes after a certain amount of time, but Frost Bomb is super important at the beginning to help you be successful with the sorcerer, in my opinion. The second one that you can use, it's Spark. Spark. So Spark is also very good as a spammer. It provides you with the shock effect, which is increasing your overall damage, which is very good, and this is what you need. With those two skills, you have a good start for your build early on. Later on, I replace by arc spark by arc, but this is like a personal preferences. I just like the fact that my lightning are bouncing between enemies. I think there is a lot of people that are using arc, but sparks, but arc is also a viable option. This is what I'm playing right now. It's just that I prefer it. I think it's more fun to play, but this is like preferential. So personally, I will keep arc, but you can use spark as well. So I'm going to replace Spark here. And the third one that you can use is Orb of Storm. Orb of Storms is also very nice because you place it on the ground, you leave it there, and then it just provides extra damage. It helps building the shock to 20%. So that's just increasing your overall DPS. So I like Orb of Storm as well at the beginning. Early on, around level 11, you are going to have a quest that will unlock for you the spirit and will unlock your first passive skills. I will go for Arctic Armor because it provides you some resistance and is chilling the people that are hitting you. It's pretty good. You see, the spirit is below the mana on the right hand side, and at the moment I have 60 on 60. At the beginning, you only have 30, and this is allowing you to have your first passive skills by just right clicking here. As you can see now, my spirit went lower from 60 to 60 to 30 to 60, and then my character has this little aura around him that is providing me this effect. So this is Arctic Armor. That's also cool. Moving on to the gem support. So for Arctic Armor, I really like Clarity because Clarity is going to help me regen my mana overall, and I think this is pretty nice. Because at the beginning you usually lack mana regeneration, so this is going to help you passively, just increasing your mana regeneration. This is really nice. On Orb Storms, you can use Persistence, which is pretty good. I personally would like to use Persistence on Mana Tempest later on, so on Conductivity later on, but at the beginning you can use Persistence. On to the skill tree. So the skill tree with the Sorcerer, you want to start at the beginning with spell damage, and then you want to go that route up to here to get a lot of spell damage. Then you want to go here to have cast speed. This is extremely important at the beginning, cast speed, because, and even later, because it's not a characteristic that you're gonna have very easily. So you want to have cast speed here. This is the build for the first 10 points. So you go left hand side, you go up, you take that one raw power, you go through here and you go here. You realize that actually I have nothing that is specific to a certain element, and because at the beginning you can use a lot of different elements, you're not going to invest in things that are only specific to one kind of damage. You want to have all this, and then after, instead of going for the nice and shiny DPS skills here, what I propose you do is you go here and here. Then from here, you go and you take those 2 points to get more energy shield. So you see here you already have 30% maximum. Here you get another 28%. So that means that already with not a lot of skill points, you have a shield that is increased by 58%. So it's going to be quite significant early on. Okay, so moving on, when you have taken those two, you are going to go here. So you have a higher recharge rate and higher, shorter time before the shield start recharge. So this is, I think, to me, the very beginning is very good like this. You have been only you've been only using 16 points, so it's quite early in the game, and you start to be tanky and you do some decent damage. Now, if you think you are tanky enough, you can go left side and you can take those points here, those 4 points. If you believe that you're still dying a lot, then you don't go here, and instead you are going to go here and take that node and that node. With this part here, you become extremely tanky. You have a lot of energy shield, it's very high, it recharges fast, and it's really reliable. Both parts are completed because at the end you are going to do either first that or first that, but after you go from one to another, you want to go here, here, and you are going to take that part. So you see right now, I'm focusing really on survivability. I'm not trying to get insane amount of damage. What I'm trying to do is get sufficient amount of tankiness so I don't die. And you will see the damage are fine. The damage are completely fine. Moving on, you are going to increase your damage. So you go here, 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 and you go here. And the idea is that if you are using a critical hit on your cast, then you're going to have more cast speed. So this is good. Then what you can do is, if you are lacking mana at any point, you can just take it. This is completely optional, it depends on your build. Also, at this stage, this point here is not needed anymore. So you can either decide to keep it or remove it. I will remove it from now on. And instead, I will put it here because I think this has more value than that. So I remove that point and I put it here. Okay, so you have the critical hit, and then I keep going with my tankiness here. And this is probably what you are going to end up with at the end of Act 2. This is usually the build that you have at the end of Act 2. So you have something like 50, a bit less than 50, like 47 points that have been dispatched. And that's usually what you get with all the bonus that you get from quest and so on. That's the end of Act 2. Now, the next part that is very important is how do you itemize yourself? What item do you choose? So let's start with the very basic thing, which is the staff or a wand plus a shield. So the stats that you are looking for is level to all spell skills. This is by far the maximum damage output that you're gonna get is if you get this stat. And by the way, if you're not sure what is providing you more damage, what you can do is you open your skill here. So let's say I'm looking at arc here, and then you can move from one thing to another. So you see here I have 339 DPS, and here I have 466. My frost bomb is 940, and here it's 892. So I'm using usually this because I have the free +3 to all spell skill level. So the first thing that you are looking for is this. The second thing that is really nice is increased spell damage. That's another thing that is very important on wands in general. If you have it, it's going to increase your DPS. Same thing on shield. If you have a shield, you're probably looking at increased spell damage. Now, if you looking at the stuff, another things that you can have a look at is if you see mana, if you are lacking mana, that's also a good one. Or if you see spell cast, quicker spell cast, this is also very good. On the shield, what you are looking for is any kind of resistance, life, energy shield. Obviously you see that this kind of shield is based on energy shield, so that's what I'm using. So that's the basic things that you are looking for as a mage. Now if you are looking at my items, every items that I have, they are full on energy shield. Because of the build that I'm doing, I end up with something like almost 900 energy shield, which is very, very helpful to tank and not getting one shot by certain monsters. In area like the rings, what I recommend you is to get some nice resistance, some health, and mana regeneration. I think this is good things that you want. So this is an example of a ring that I had very early, and right now is not really nice. Like it just provides me a bit of mana and intelligence. There's nothing on resistance, nothing on survivability. So I don't like that ring. I need to change it. On the amulet, I like the one that is providing you with more energy shield, and obviously what you want is increased cast speed. That's the one that you see here, and you need also mana regeneration, but this is more like a secondary stat. The main one is increased cast speed. I will be okay to not get energy shield if I have this stat. It happens that I have both on the same thing, so this is why I'm keeping it. This is standard. You want health, mana, any kind of resistance. This is nice, and this mine is very crappy, but that's what I'm using. On this, you want to have health. You want to have resistance. This is very standard. And on rune in general, what I'm doing is I'm using the iron rune to increase my energy shield by 20%. By the way, if you're not aware, if you take those things here, you can add a slot to an item like this. You can do the same for, I don't know if this is working for this. No, it's not. So you can do slot on armors, and then after you can embed runes like this that are giving you some nice featuring. So if you are lacking, I don't know, like lightning resistance, you can put this. If you are lacking fire resistance, you can put this. So this is something that is pretty nice. I went for just raw energy shield because I think it's very important to have as much as possible, but you can go for something else if you think that you are lacking it. Okay, so let's see this build in action. So I'm at the end of the Act 2, and this is the boss of the Act 2, so if you don't want to be spoiled, you can leave the video. If you want to see the build in action, you can stay. Okay, so as you can see, I have my shield and my life. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to debuff the enemy. See, my shield is going down. Okay, now I'm going to focus not taking any damage. My shield is going up, and I can DPS again. So very simple. You see, I'm not paying any effort on dodging anything. When he's frozen, I can cold snap. He's doing a burst of damage. You see, this I taking the big AoE. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Taking the big AoE. I'm just going to regen. You see, my shield is tanking everything. So this is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just using my debuff, spam arc, and cool mine, and that's it. Okay, on this phase, there is the things that are following you. Just need to dodge a little bit, but as you can see, even if you start dodging a bit, you're not taking any damage. If I want to burst, you can use the storm. And that's it. You see, the build is very simple, so there's no difficulty. That's it for today. Thank you everyone for watching. If this video helped you by any means, please leave a like and a comment. You can also sub to my channel. It's going to help me tremendously in the future. Thank you for watching and see you on the next video.